Normally, I don't really go for too many conspiracy theories, and Flacco has like told me to my face that he didn't accept money from Bandman Kevo and them. But I'm not gonna lie, I do find that theory kind of compelling because it's like there needs to be a reason why he went so hard on you. I just don't see him do that.
Nobody
typically.
admits taking money from them and saying like, but I didn't have like I ain't gonna say proof like you see a payment proof, but like I didn't have proof like all right, these people are saying the same exact thing about the same exact person at the same exact time.
But folks and Flacco or folks and Kevo were some of the only people that were really Flacco when he first came out here, and right? Like they sort of like
his manager or still is.
Exactly. They kind of like saddled up next to him and were with him like real early on. So I could imagine him, even if it was a money thing, I could kind of imagine him feeling like he was doing that out of loyalty to them as well. Maybe.
But was he signed to them? I don't think he knew them before then.
He didn't.
Oh, really? That came after?
Literally, all right. So
well, that kind of that theory up.
I posted up the Dom. I posted 16 and Dom's situation, and I think that same day, I think Kevo reached out to Flacco, and that's how Kevo and Flacco even got close, and then they built their friendship off of that.
Everybody else see me went viral with for being into it. It all stemmed from him. Like if you notice before that, my name wasn't attached to all this goofy ass. It stemmed from him. Like a lot of people, most people, I feel like they stay solid with a lot of people. They pick a side with that. They pick the money or they pick whatever. Like me and DJU shouldn't have issues. We didn't have no issues. And I ain't gonna lie, like he was telling me that this is why I was so confused about like how they seem like they was locked in, because he was like sneak dissing them the whole time, saying like, yeah, they be chasing it. They really don't like you. They hate you. You get under their skin. They clout chasing this and that. But then he go in an interview and say that about me with them or with somebody. I don't know who it was, but it's like that was already weird to me. But I found out the reason why. It was I thought it was because of Kevo and them, but then I seen like they wasn't even really fucking with each other. But it was because I ain't do the interview. The interview I did here with Flacco, that made him mad because he had reached out to me. And
DJU.
I turned down everybody interview. Like I wasn't doing interviews with people because at the time I didn't want to talk about Kevo. It was like what was done was done. I feel like I was up, like fuck talking. I feel like they was chasing Clout at that point. I didn't want to do it. But once Flacco did what he did, and I talked to Adam was like, come to no jumper. And like I kind of had like a motive to want to do it at this point because he just did what he did. It's a whole new situation.
But see, that helps us like understand DJU more. Is that like from day one, like anything that we did that he wanted to do, he can't help but get salty about that shit. Because the real reason why he's mad now is because we got Bezu before him. And then he gets Bezu right after, and Bezu's shit on his shit does not that great compared to the one that we did that did a shitload of views, And it's like, he might not say it, but to me, it's pretty obvious that he's the type of guy who just can't handle, he wants a 16 interview and then 16 comes and does it with no jumper. Oh, he mad at 16,
But that's the thing,
like
how
that,
he is.
I fuck with DJU, but I feel like that shit, like,
It's not the right attitude.
it's not the right attitude, and it's almost on some lame shit. Like even with me, he said I invited him to No Jumper to steal the formula from him to give it to Adam. Like for one, fuck no.
What did we learn from him when he was here?
All right, let's break it down. Like I think I knew DJU before I even met Adam. Like I met him in Georgia. Like he came to my crib. I was doing work for him and shit before I even met Adam in person. So like me and him had a relationship. So when he get on the internet and like instead of hitting me up and say shit like that, I'm like, damn, bro, because like I fuck with you heavy and shit. Like I do shit with him like I used to, you know what I'm saying? But he said that I invited him out here to No Jumper to give the formula of interviewing Chicago people to Adam. Like, nigga, I was running your whole Instagram covering Chicago shit before any of this shit. So like, I've been tapped in with Chicago, but I wouldn't need a DJU to take the, like, nigga, I was tapped in with Zach TV before you was doing this shit. So it wasn't even like a DJU thing. But to be real, he came out here because he said he wanted to see how No Jumper operate and to see the type of shit, like, you know what I'm saying? He checked out the warehouse. He was like interested with the iPad signing and shit. So I was like, come on, boy, don't put that on me. Like, and I fuck with you, but it's like, nigga,
he told me the same shit, bro.
You don't run. I feel like this. You don't own Chicago niggas just to be like, yo, they shouldn't be. He said I'm running off with the Chicago sauce. And it's natural. Like, I fuck with this shit.
Why did he ask Butta like a few months ago what STL stood for? Like, there's been a bunch of times when I was listening to his interviews and he asked questions that I'm like, you're from Chicago and you're asking that question? Because I'm from fucking New Hampshire and I live in LA and I know the answer to that question. Like, is not like, he's not like, it would be one thing if he had some incredible interview powers. Like he was the best fucking interviewer. You're okay, but you're not fucking Nardwaring it up out here, bro. I'm just gonna be real. Like,
I think he might have just got this shit too fast and mentally don't know how to deal with it.
yeah. He feels territorial about something that's not really his.
Yeah. Like even me, like
How you feel though about like us doing Chicago interviews and shit?
I fuck with it. Cause like when I do my interviews, I really like did this shit not just for my own benefit. Like I wanted to help the city. I wanted to help people I worked with. So like them going on other platforms and getting that shit, like I'm with that shit. It's, in my eyes, it's like, all right, this another look. Like, why would you be mad about that? That's how you know, like, his purpose of doing it is just for self. He just want that shit for him. So it's like, if it's not me, I don't like it. I don't think that way.
Like Cam Capone has done a couple of interviews with Clem, who was from CTE with Jeezy and shit back in the day. I put up a post because I was like not wanting to ask Cam Capone for his info. I just put on Instagram, like, what's this guy's at? Cam Capone hits me right away, sends me his number. Like, boom, yeah. He was hyped for me to interview somebody that he's already interviewed a bunch of times, even knowing that interview might stop people from watching his interview clips or whatever. But I mean, that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is like, oh, they might get interested in him and then want to watch more of Cam Capone's interview clips with him. But like, the right mentality is to just support people and help them and help other people, like not to just be stingy and try to keep everything to yourself. Like anytime I interviewed somebody that you interviewed, I wasn't thinking like, oh yeah, like 16's gonna be mad or I'm getting at 16. It's
I
like,
tell
who gives a
people to
fuck?
interview.
Yeah,
And he do the same for me.
for sure.
Bro, like,
Yeah, tight shit.
like shout out Alfonso 6700. Like y'all gotta check him out for real. Like
I did listen to it
going
because
for-
somebody was telling us about here. I forget, but I did just check him out.
I think Rico might have brought him up.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
right there you go. Yeah,
hard body too.
Yeah, me and Hardbody, I've been chopping it up when he want to come up here for sure. But nah, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like with the whole, he trying to say that we ain't supposed to be like we running off the Chicago sauce. Like nigga, if anything, you ran off with Zach TV sauce then. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, come on, bro. Like,
Nah, you can't say that.
I mean, it's a different
I fuck
perspective.
with Zach, but he ran
Zach
out my
didn't have
South
a-
game. Zach was outside. He ain't never.
But that's what I'm saying. All right, for sure. But Zach TV, if we want to, he's the
He's
pioneer
doing
of
interviews, Chicago interviews, but that ain't.
So you saying
that
you the
wasn't-
first nigga to have a warehouse and have a
I ain't
location?
gonna say all that goofy ass shit. He said, I don't know who the first, and I don't care who the
I'm
first.
talking about in Chicago, not just in general. But
I
like,
know it's probably people that's doing this shit that I have no clue about
but then why you say DJU ran off with your sauce? Like what he took from you specifically?
because he told me. Like
Yeah, but what was it specifically? Like I'm
the day I met him, I had no clue who he was. He asked me for a picture.
Yeah.
He was like, I look up to you. I like your content. He was like, I like how you have multiple camera angles and you have it moving this and that. I'm doing interviews. I'm going to start doing the same thing. I said, I fuck with it. I didn't know who he was. I gave him advice.
Yeah.
The first interview I seen of his was a bloodbath interview with a dude in jail. I DM'd him and said, I see your shit. It popped up on my timeline. That mean you're doing something right. Go crazy. Like, he told me this. Then he get on this platform and say, yeah, I'm the first person that got this and the only person that got this. I'm new to the city. And it's like, bro, we done had this warehouse for 2 years at this point. Like, you just be lying. Even when y'all asked him, like, what's his issue with me, he couldn't tell you. He was like, 16 do little hoe shit. What does that mean? What did I do?
Yeah, did you do anything that you can like?
I ain't do the interview.
So that's the main.
Go watch the first interview he did with Bandman Kevo and Big Folks and the second one. The first one was when he asked me to do an interview and I told him I wasn't doing them or whatever, but it was still love because I didn't do another interview. And that interview, he bleeped out shit they said. It's little beeps in the video, all type of shit looking out. The second one, the whole energy changed. I never realized that at that point though, but that's what made me kind of not fuck with him, his energy in that video. And it was like, nah, I'm not working with you. Every time he reached out, I just tell him nah. And I guess he took that person. But it's like it's like, I don't know why he's so sensitive with this shit. Like how he usually talking about Cam Capone. When I did the interview that day with Flacco and AD, Cam Capone was leaving out this bitch. And Cam Capone was trying to do an interview with me, and I was telling him I'm gonna get up with him, and never did. He seen me and never did no weird shit that got in his feelings. We still communicate. And like, you know, let each other know shit, whatever. I got a question, I hit him up, he answered.
and because the smart thing to do if you're someone who's doing interviews is not to just do every fucking interview at the same time. Like if I were you, I would space the shit out, you know? Like people burn themselves out by just doing every fucking podcast. And it's like, if I was you, I would want to kind of make each time that I went on a different podcast, make it matter, you know, really have some important shit to talk about. So it actually like makes a dent. You know, I learned that from Joe Budden. I watch him when he does go on other people's podcasts, he's turning the fuck up. He tries to really kind of steal the show and like really have something that he's going to bring to the table to make that appearance pop, you know?
Yeah.
You feel like, back to the Bam Kelly shit. You feel like Bam Kelly did something to your YouTube channel though, for real?
I don't know, honestly, but I do know I know when we got into it, I just started seeing a lot of weird shit, a lot of bots and shit. So it's like, why wouldn't it be him? Then if you go watch his interviews, he literally says it. He says like, you think I'm gonna let him do this and that? And after he did that, you think I'm gonna do that with all these mirrors and the resources I got? Like he's saying the shit.
Yeah.
It's just I don't want to sit and fucking bitch and complain all fucking day. Like fuck, man, Capital did this, he did that. Like nah, I'm still decent, bro. Like YouTube been stopped being my biggest revenue source a minute ago, even before then. So it's like really not tripping over that shit.